Greetings everyone, Joseph James here with your nightly newsletter, June 23rd, 2009. Today was a Tuesday morning, a pretty sluggish morning here ahead of the FOMC day tomorrow, Wednesday. And of course, before we go over our live trade room results for this morning, I want to talk about the term of the day. The term of the day today is FOMC day. Now, what is FOMC day? Well, whether or not you've heard of it before, or maybe you've never heard of this term before, the Federal Open Market Committee, well, they meet at a predetermined time every month. We call that FOMC Day. And at the end of that meeting, they announce what they have done as far as changing the interest rates or the Fed funds rate here in the United States. So it's the FOMC announcement. It happens at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, usually on a Wednesday. And this, of course, is known as a major news event. It's kind of the big daddy of all economic news events. It's right up there with jobless claims, pending home sales, inflation reports, income reports, right? It's pretty much the daddy of them all. Now, unlike other news events, the FOMC announcement at 2:15 actually affects an entire trading day. In fact, we saw these effects actually start to roll over into today, right? We saw very low price action, very sluggish on the tape, low volume in the market, lots of sideways price action. And with only a 10 o'clock news event this morning, we were pretty much left to assume that people were waiting, kind of sitting on the sidelines to see what's going to happen tomorrow with interest rates via this FOMC announcement at 2:15. Now, typically speaking, guys, tomorrow we're going to see great trading in the morning. We'll usually get a good couple hours worth of trading opportunities. We'll see good volume. We'll see good moves. There shouldn't be any concern about trading tomorrow morning. Now, we're going to see a small calm before the storm, obviously, though, because at 2:15 we have our announcement, which means usually at about, it could be as early as 11 o'clock, 10:45 Eastern tomorrow, we see people kind of hit the exits a little bit early because they know that at 2:15 we have this very important announcement, the FOMC announcement. So we will usually see volume and, of course, opportunities start to trail off a little bit earlier than normal tomorrow morning. Of course, once that happens, we have some very unpredictable price action. So rookies, guys, beware out there tomorrow. Tomorrow's not the day to be earning all your income. Tomorrow's the day to hopefully get in the green and stay in the green throughout the rest of the afternoon. It's okay for us to stand on the sidelines and watch tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be one of those experiences, FOMC Day always are, where we're ultimately trading the reaction to this big news event, but it's very unpredictable, right? There will be times where we know exactly what the announcement's going to be, but the reaction to that announcement is completely different than what the traders have priced into the market. So it can be a very unexpected end of the day tomorrow. Last month this time, if you recall, guys, we saw a very quiet afternoon. In fact, one of the quietest FOMC afternoons I've seen in a very long time. So it's expected to see a little bit of the same here this afternoon, right? Don't expect to see a huge amount of movement because I think most of the traders actually expect to see that they leave rates alone. All right, guys, let's talk about our live trade room tomorrow morning. Opens up at 7:30 a.m., so come join us. It's great for trial members. Forget 3 free weeks. And lifetime members. No monthly fees, no monthly payments, no smoke and mirrors, guys. Just good trades calls. We have 3 jobs every morning. First job is to identify. That is the news events and the type of market that we see. Job number 2 is to define those windows of opportunity. So once we identify, job number 2 is to adjust by defining our windows, by defining our trade zones. And if we do the first 2 jobs correctly, well then job number 3 becomes very simple, guys. And that is to execute our trades. We practice patience and discipline to wait for the very best setups to come our way, right? Of course, we really take a lot of pride in our patience and our discipline. It's one of our assets. And we always kind of check our mind at the door and we let our rules do the trading. Very simple, mechanical approach to our trading. And guys, let's talk about some of the trades we took today in the live trade room. I got our morning off on a pretty good foot here this morning. Now, guys, if you were with us here in the trading this morning, what did we see? We saw very sideways. As you can see, look at this chart. I mean, very sideways, very tough to find a number of opportunities here to trade this morning. But we were able to get, in my opinion, we were all over pretty much every move that happened this morning. I'm very happy with the way today turned out, guys. We ended in the green by a long shot. So always a good day if we can see a market like we saw today and end up in the green. So 10 o'clock this morning, 9 minutes past the hour. This is a 2-step short. And guys, of course, in a market like we saw today where we have sideways, back and forth, choppy markets, we're going to see a lot of 2-steps, right? These are counter trend trades. So when a wave pattern or a trending opportunity finishes off, when it exhausts that trend, If that move runs out of gas, well, of course, we have a failure move that we look for, and we call it the two-step. This was a short at 18 even. We took profit at 3, 6, and then 18 on our last target. Wonderful trade here. A 27 tick winner there to get our day off on the right foot. Next up is our Russell. Now, of course, symbol on this TF. This was shortly thereafter, so back-to-back winning trades here. This is on the Russell now, guys. So move from the Euro over to the Russell. 10.18 this morning, right? Just about 10 minutes later. Another two-step long. Entry was at 90 even on this. We took profit at 3, 6, and 10 for a total of 19 ticks. And again, right, these are piling up here early in the morning. So this was ultimately our key to success today, was getting into the market, get a couple good winning trades because, as you guys will see next, the S&P was our last trade of the day, actually. Now, 11 o'clock this morning, just before we ended up here, this was a high-risk two-step, and of course, I was very vocal about that in the room this morning. High-risk two-step. As you guys can see, the move was in the right direction. Entry here was at 87.5, got stopped out at 6 ticks. 3 contracts, that's 18 ticks or 4.5 points. All right, so we gave back a little bit of the money we made on those first 2 trades. A 4.5 point stop on the S&P. It was the right trade to take. The direction was correct. As you guys can see, we got stopped out literally by a couple ticks there before price ended up going in our direction. And that was ultimately a lot of what our whole story was about this afternoon. Right? This afternoon we called 5 winning trades this afternoon, but didn't get filled, or they were just off. Price action was horrible. One of those days where we clearly saw our methodology working, but things just didn't quite add up the way we like to see them. So all in all today, we still ended up about $350 up for every 3 contracts, so not a bad day at all. Now I want to remind you guys, we do have a price increase coming up July 1st. Okay, so July 1st, we do have a price increase coming up, and contact our sales department, sales@schooloftrade.com, for a 5% discount coupon available through July 1st. So we're going to be looking at probably a 10% price increase July 1. We're giving away 5% discounts, so save yourself anywhere from 10 to 15% here before the end of the month by joining up sometime here in June. Let's do a quick recap. Live trade room opens tomorrow morning, guys, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, so come out and join us. We're going to trade 6 different markets. The E-minis, we'll trade commodities, currencies, and of course the DAX off the Eurex exchange. We're going to give you live trade calls with entries, targets, and stops. We'll show you our dome. We'll show you everything about this, guys. There'll be plenty of opportunity for questions, so bring the questions with you and plan on staying with us all day. There'll be plenty of opportunity to see that market in a completely different way, and we'll show you how. We're going to give you three weeks as a part of our trial, so register for our trial on our homepage, or just drop us an email, sales@schooloftrade.com. My name is Joseph James. I'm the developer of the James Wave method of trading. Thanks for your time this evening. Hope the video helps, and we'll see you tomorrow in the live trade room.